afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. Yourself, Susan?
I had a great one. How about you?
The usual.
You a little tired after that Packer game last night? Did you stay up till the end?
Yeah, it's always. I hate those Sunday night games
I know.
It's like
it was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was a good one. Looking better than they did the week before.
That's for sure. Yeah.
We'll get to all that in a minute. But first, here's what's making news today. One of the men charged in connection with a 2020 shooting that killed 11-year-old Anissa Scott was sentenced today.
If you planned on going to Freak Fest this coming Halloween, start making other plans because Freak Fest has been canceled.
And a final farewell to Queen Elizabeth II. A look at how Britain paid tribute to its longest reigning monarch. Let's take a look outside. The trees starting to turn.
Well, that's a beautiful shot. Yep, they're starting to go now.
Unsettled weather are the weather words, and Julian's outside. You wouldn't think fall's right around the corner.
I know, especially
warm today.
Especially with a day like today, Mark. It is gorgeous, but it still feels a bit on the milder side. And we're just 3 days away from fall, even though we're already starting to see some of those leaves change throughout many areas throughout southern Wisconsin, especially here in Madison. But as we take a look outside, it's pretty blue sky, but we are still looking at things to really be on the unsettled side. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but taking a look at how we stacked up for today, we're still above average in terms of temperatures. 77 degrees for today, which is normally around 72 degrees for this time of year. But as we transition over to our dew points, not a whole lot of humidity, which is great. It feels really comfortable here in southern Wisconsin as we're kicking off the rest of our afternoon, going towards the evening. Now, as we fall into tonight, we are looking for things to start to get more comfortable. However, we're going to see mild temperatures throughout the night, and though it's going to clear out for the first half of our night, we are looking for the rest of the evening and the overnight hours, for us to start to see some storms rolling in. We'll talk about that in just a few moments, but let's take a look at our traffic as of right now. Pretty smooth across the belt line, all green as we're getting into our 4 p.m. commute and taking a look over towards the interstate. More of the same. We're looking pretty smooth from north to south onto the interstate. We'll talk more about what we could be expecting in the overnights and how that could potentially impact our Tuesday morning in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. A second defendant is sentenced in connection to the tragic shooting death of 11-year-old Anissa Scott.
Eric Franke joins us now with the punishment facing Perion Carrion for his role in the crime. Eric?
Susan and Mark, it is 30 years in prison plus decades of extended supervision for now 21-year-old Perion Carrion. In this case, the tragic shooting death of 11-year-old Anissa Scott happened just before noon, broad daylight, in August of 2020 on East Washington Avenue. Carrion and 2 others were in a vehicle following another man, Christopher Carthens, before they opened fire, hitting and killing Anissa. Carrion did express remorse, saying Anissa was not the intended target, but her family, 2 years later, remains in a deep state of grief.
There is no sense, no reason, and no justification to ever help me understand why her. I'm tired of being a grieving mom. I just want my baby and my normal life back.
I'm glad that justice is being served in, some way. But I know at the end of the day, the pain will never go away from her family. I just want you and the family to know I truly am deeply sorry.
Dane County Judge Julie Genovese did consider his remorse genuine, but said a price must be paid for such a horrific crime. Andre Brown was sentenced to 35 years in prison last week, and another man, Jerry Ward, is the only one who has not pled guilty, and he will face trial in November. Mark.
Eric, thank you. It has been 4 years since a shooting took place at a software company in Middleton that left 1 person dead and 4 injured. An emergency call came in around 10:30 in the morning from a Paragon employee reporting shots fired in the company's building. Police arrived on the scene within 3 minutes, eventually shooting the gunman. Police said the shooter was heavily armed with ammunition and magazines. The shooter was a Paragon employee and ultimately died as a result of his injuries.
A Madison teenager facing multiple felony charges after a string of school bomb threats this past spring was in court today. During earlier interviews with investigators, 17-year-old Joseph Garrison of Madison allegedly admitted he used Bitcoin to pay for bomb threats at Memorial High School using an online contact that offered the threats as a service. Today, his bail was modified to ban Garrison from all MMSD schools and all school-sponsored events.
Trial dates have now been set for the DeForest man accused of stalking and planning to kill a former high school classmate. Online court records indicate the jury selection for Gabriel Savage's trial has been scheduled for next January. Savage faces 4 counts, including attempted first-degree intentional homicide and attempted first-degree sexual assault of a child under the age of 16. Britain's Queen Elizabeth has finally been laid to rest following a historic state funeral at Westminster Abbey.
The solemn service drew presidents, kings, and massive crowds in the streets of London.
Daniel Backus reports from London.
The final tribute to Queen Elizabeth II was a royal celebration of life, honoring her 70 years of service on the throne. Her Majesty's coffin was carried into Westminster Abbey with members of the royal family, including King Charles III, following close behind. The solemn tribute drew dignitaries from around the world.
We come to this house of God to mourn our loss.
Tens of thousands of people lined the route to see the procession of her coffin from the Abbey to Windsor Castle.
It's all very sad. Yeah, she's been with us a long time now.
It's a very good send-off. The Queen means so much to me.
The Queen's beloved corgis were even part of that send-off. The funeral was planned by the Queen, nearly every detail mapped out, including readings and songs.
I feel really privileged that I saw it, yeah, and I will never forget it.
At Windsor Castle, the Queen was eulogized with reverence and affection during a committal service.
Her calm and dignified presence has given us confidence to face the future as she did, with courage and with hope.
Her scepter, orb, and crown removed from the coffin to be passed to her son at his coronation. The Queen now joins her late husband, Prince Philip, at St. George's Chapel, their final resting place. Danya Backus, CBS News, London.
The Queen, of course, died earlier this month at the age of 96.
This was the first funeral for a reigning monarch to be held at Westminster Abbey since King George II in 1760. Well, if you haven't gotten your updated COVID booster, now is the time. More appointments are now available in Dane County.
McKenna Alexander joins us to share details on public health's vaccine push ahead of the flu season. McKenna.
Yeah, Public Health Madison and Dane County says they're seeing more people interested in getting a COVID booster as we head into the fall. That's why PHMDC has extended clinic hours, added weekend availability, and are spreading the word about walk-in clinics. They want to make sure everyone who can and wants a booster has no trouble finding one.
Anytime we see either extended eligibility or one of the boosters coming out, we do see this boost in interest for vaccine in general. So it's not surprising. We expected that.
Now here's a list of clinics this week. The first at Warner Park this Wednesday and Saturday, and then another at Elver Park this Thursday and Friday. You can also get a booster shot at the South Madison PHMDC clinic on Mondays and Saturdays, and there are currently Saturday appointments available at that location. And finally, PHMDC's East Washington clinic is also open for boosters on Tuesdays. You can check Channel 3000 for those exact times the clinics are open. And coming up at 6, I'll share more about how this booster is different from the previous shot.
All right, McKenna, we'll see you at 6 o'clock. Thank you. Freak Fest, the annual Halloween celebration on State Street, has been canceled for the 3rd year in a row. Madison Park officials said Monday that the event, which was canceled the past 2 years due to COVID, will not be making a return this year. But that doesn't mean the city won't be celebrating Halloween. The downtown Madison Family Halloween event will be held on October 26th from 3 to 6 p.m. on State Street. However, there are no city-sanctioned events planned the night of the holiday.
President Biden sat down for an interview last night on 60 Minutes. The president appeared to change U.S. foreign policy towards Taiwan during the interview with Scott Pelley. The official policy is that the U.S. recognizes Taiwan as a part of China, but remains silent on whether the U.S. military would defend the democratic government there.
There's a one China policy, and Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not moving, we're not encouraging their being independent. We're not, that's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
The White House later said official U.S. policy regarding China and Taiwan has not changed. However, China's foreign ministry spokesperson denounced the interview. In that same interview, the president says it's much too early for him to make a decision about running for another term. The president said his intention is that he would run again, but it's not a firm decision. He says that remains to be seen. The comments mark a shift from what he and his aides have been saying publicly for most of his presidency.
Hurricane Fiona unleashed fury on the Dominican Republic after knocking out power across Puerto Rico. The system continues to drop rain on the U.S. territory, with Puerto Rico's governor calling the damage catastrophic. More rain is in the forecast and flash flood warnings are in effect. Earlier, the National Weather Service tweeted a warning to residents to move to higher ground immediately. Puerto Rico's governor says they're seeing unprecedented amounts of water, in some cases more than during Hurricane Maria in 2017. The electrical grid was decimated in that storm, and Fiona knocked out power again. Officials warn it's going to be days before most of the island's electricity is restored.
We have 10 times the meals and water. We also have 3 times the generator support that we had prior to Hurricane Maria.
Residents in the Dominican Republic are picking up the pieces of torn roofs and toppled homes. Fiona made landfall around 3:30 this morning with winds as strong as 85 miles an hour. Beaches in the popular vacation destination of Punta Cana are off limits. Hotels closed their pools and moved guests further inland.
A team of 24 people, including 16 members of SSM Health staff and physicians, are just back from a medical mission to Guatemala. Dr. Matt Pogudzinski recruited and led a team of medical employees with a group called Faith and Practice on a trip to provide surgical care to Guatemalans.
I was going to say, I think one of the moments that stuck out to me was the group. There was a group of Guatemalans who came from, they walked about 14 hours to see us at surgery. And they had said, we can't thank you enough. We don't have any way to pay you back monetarily, but we want to give you these gifts. And people who hadn't been on this before, that was when they realized what they were really doing.
The group is planning 2 more trips for next year, one in the spring and another in the fall. Pogudzinski is hoping to bring everyone who joined this last trip back again.
That's some amazing work.
Good work.
Good for them. Well, still to come at 4, more jaw-dropping images from the new James Webb Space Telescope.
This time it's focusing its attention on the red planet. We'll have new images of Mars when Live at 4 continues.
Watching News 3 Now, live at 4. iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs starting under $40. Progressives, 2 pairs start under $80. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
First, we found out that radical Tim Michael supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct.
Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control and ban abortion, even to save the life of the mother. And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers. Vote no on Radical Tim Michaels.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know it needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
How do we make your glasses the same day? It's all done in store. Our skilled techs handle your glasses from start to finish, getting them back the same day. Quality, affordable glasses made in store, only at iMart Express.
Welcome back. More than 80% of pregnancy-related deaths in the U.S. are preventable.
That is according to a report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The leading underlying causes are mental health conditions, excessive bleeding, cardiac conditions, and infection. More than half of the deaths happened from a week up to a year after pregnancy. The CDC says the report highlights the need for healthcare professionals and the public to be more aware of pregnancy-related complications.
The red planet has caught the eye of NASA's newest space telescope.
The James Webb Space Telescope captured these images of Mars, one of the brightest objects in the Earth's night sky. They are the telescope's first images of the fourth planet from the sun. Scientists say they reveal a unique perspective on the planet, along with new data collected by orbiters, rovers, and other telescopes. The new images depict Mars' eastern hemisphere and showcase various Martian features, like its dark volcanic rocks and two of its bigger impact craters. A new report claims one of the top social media platforms is delivering misinformation to its young users.
According to the report by NewsGuard, nearly 20% of the videos that appear when you search TikTok contain some form of misinformation. Researchers say they compared search engine results from TikTok and Google on major news topics, including the 2020 presidential elections and Russia's war in Ukraine. According to NewsGuard, TikTok, quote, repeatedly delivered videos containing false claims in the first 20 results, often within the first 5 minutes. Stocks close higher on Wall Street to start the week. The Dow Industrials gained 197 points, closing at 31,019. The Nasdaq added 86. The S&P 500 was up 26. Well, Tempo Madison is marking a big milestone this year.
40 years of connecting professional women in the Madison area.
Tempo Madison is throwing a big 40th anniversary celebration next month at Monona Terrace. And joining us to tell us more is Michelle Vetterkind, the board president of Tempo, and Aaron Fabricius, the Tempo's executive director. Welcome to Live
Hi, ladies. Nice to see you.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
So let's talk about Tempo, just in case people don't know what it is. Tell us about the organization.
Yeah, so Tempo is a networking organization for executive level women, and our mission is really to lead, connect, and engage influential women of diverse backgrounds and experiences to help them succeed at the highest professional levels in our community.
40 years. Congratulations. That
Thank
is
you.
a very big milestone. You also offer a lot of scholarship opportunities.
That's correct. We have a foundation that offers needs-based scholarships for young women in Dane County, so keep an eye out for those applications. They'll be going live in late October or early November.
How does someone join the organization? You have to be invited?
That's correct. Yep. So our membership process works where a current Tempo Madison member nominates another executive level woman to join. And so we really have a great sisterhood and support system among our members.
Michelle, you have a big party coming up next month to celebrate.
Yes, we do.
Is the party planner here?
Now, in addition to Tempo, you are also the president of the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
I am. So I kind of know you.
And you are bringing in a legend of journalism as your keynote speaker. Tell us about it.
Judy Woodruff, and we are so honored to have her with us for our 40th anniversary gala. Judy's a trailblazer, and so many of our members are trailblazers as well. So
she's the host of PBS NewsHour, for those of you who are wondering.
She was on ABC, I think, for a while.
Yes. And that event is going to be Saturday, October 28th at Monona Terrace. We have tickets for sale. Anyone from the public, we'd love to see as many people there as possible. And those tickets are available through September 23rd. So that's
Which
a big...
is Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
Through Friday.
You only have until this Friday to get a ticket.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't have to be be a member of Temple.
No, not at all. So please join us.
We could go.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
I
it.
would love to go.
Was there a short list of people who you wanted?
Oh, she's our ideal. She's our ideal. Well, and we have her.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it raises, there's so many questions involving journalism now. And so will she be doing any Q&A or is it just a speech?
She's going to do a speech, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Definitely.
Erin, how many members of Tempo do you currently have?
So we have about 230 members, and it really spans across industries. So we have women who are CEOs, CFOs, executive directors, presidents, vice presidents. So again, really women at that executive level.
I don't mean to be rude, but I've never heard of the organization. I mean, Charlotte talks about it, and that's how I found out about it. But you're kind of quiet. You're behind the scenes.
That's right. So one of our goals for our 40th anniversary is really to start to raise our public profile and to engage more with the community. So we'd love to see a full house at the Monona Terrace on October 8th in support of professional and executive women in our community.
And Michelle, if people want to get those tickets before Friday, how do they do that?
TempoMadison.org.
.org,
yes.
Okay.
Or search for us on Facebook.
Congratulations on 40 years and to 40 more. And
to the next 40.
And a great event next month.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being with us.
Great to see you both.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, still to come at 4, they were the most unlikely of friends, but friends they were.
A look at the special bond between Queen Elizabeth and Nelson Mandela. We'll have that coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
Protecting your home starts at the top. If your shingles are torn, cracked, and flying off in the wind, it can cause leaks that lead to costly repairs. So make the switch to Erie Metal Roofing. Get one-day installation on the last roof you'll ever need. And there's no shortage in our supply chain, so we can turn your job around quickly. Erie is A+ rated with the BBB. More than 2,000 excellent reviews online. And now take advantage of this special offer. Call 1-800-966-4500 during this program and receive a 60-inch HD TV with your purchase of an Erie Metal Roofing system. We've helped thousands of homeowners afford a new metal roof. Call today for an estimate as soon as tomorrow. And don't miss this opportunity. Receive a 60-inch HD TV with your metal roofing system purchase from Erie Metal Roofing. Call 1-800-966-4500. That's 1-800-966-4500.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find bicycle store quality electric e-bikes from Trek, Electra, Felt, Giant, and more. Trek offers the best-selling e-bike in America, Trek Verve Plus, under $2,500. At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find fat e-bikes, mountain e-bikes, road e-bikes, bike path e-bikes, and more. Free services included. The place to shop for your new e-bike is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
Thanks Take a look at this. Plymouth, Wisconsin teacher Abby Ward took a break from her 7th grade studies to assist a great horned owl that had become entangled in a soccer net.
Aww.
Ward says the trapped bird of prey was surprisingly calm as she went to work on the tangled mess with a pair of scissors. And after a few minutes, the owl was free to take flight thanks to one brave and selfless science teacher.
Oh, good for her.
Good for her.
We love a happy ending.
Ahoy, matey. Are you looking for a little fun? Go ahead.
No, you keep going.
No, I'm done.
No,
it says Susan.
No, like you keep going. I can't do it. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day.
International Talk Like a Pirate
Yes.
Day. So apparently
you don't need a pirate ship or a treehouse like this one to celebrate. Shiver me timbers. That is commitment. That really is.
It is commitment. Look at that.
To enjoy the piratey pleasure of the day, just grab your first mate.
Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop.
See, I was right. I should trust my instincts. Okay.
You scallywag?
Yes, all right.
Apparently this idea was born nearly 30 years ago when two friends on a racquetball court started ribbing each other in pirate slang.
I'm not sure which was more funnier. Was that you guys opted out or that you could have said?
Was that a giant shrimp on that thing?
I have no idea.
I didn't know.
All right, congratulations to this guy.
Yeah, you had a big weekend.
Thank you. I did. So for those who didn't know, I ran my first triathlon at Devil's Lake. It was the Devil's Challenge. And it was the end of the triathlon series or something like that.
You've been training for a long time with Dana Fulton, who many remember. She's done how many of them now?
Yeah, 3 or 4, yeah.
She did, because she did the series this year, and then she did the half Ironman as well.
How did it
Literally
go?
last Saturday. It went great. It was tough, though. I'm not going to lie.
What were the distances?
The distance was 400-meter swim, which that was my first time actually doing open swim. It kind of caught me off guard how much seaweed was in the
Devil's Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not, yeah, the lake's
It's a lot of seaweed. Did not know that. Kind of freaked me out for a moment, not going to lie. But outside of that, it was 400-meter swim, and it was 15-mile bike ride.
And then how far a run?
Run was 5K, so 3.1 miles.
Which was the hardest?
Bad. Easily, it was the bike. That first hill, oh my god.
Yeah, it's very hilly around Devil's Lake.
It was very hilly, but the first one was easily the most struggling I've ever done on a bike. And everyone else was too. I mean, a few people, of course, were just used to it. But it was easy.
You finished.
We're proud of you. It's an amazing accomplishment.
And then you came to work and did 3 shows last night.
I saw that. Yes.
Here I sit. We can't even read the script for the Pirates thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys
Now, did you
so
get the
much.
bug to keep doing it?
Honestly, I would do one more or a couple more. I'm actually I'm not super like, oh yes, I need to do another one, but if, Dana was like, hey, let's do another one. I'm like, all right.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
Yes.
And you know how that's going to go, right?
Exactly. Speaking of which, are you guys ready for fall? Because I am.
I am too.
Yeah, I am too.
Well, we get to have a little preview of what we can expect coming up in just a few moments. So stay tuned for the First One forecast after the break.
Stoughton Health's Breast Cancer Risk Assessment can help you understand your personal breast cancer risk and strategies to reduce your risk. The screening is a free service Stoughton Health offers to help women take charge of their health.
When severe weather rolls in, you need a roof that will keep your family safe and dry. That's where Erie Metal Roofing can help. Get a lifetime of protection that won't warp, crack, or rot. The Erie Metal Roofing system is durable and stands up to heavy rain, hail, high wind, even fire. And we can install in as little as 1 day.
Well, I've dealt with a lot of roofers. I mean, this is probably one of 15 houses I've built over my lifetime. And it's definitely the best company I've ever worked with.
Get the last roof you'll ever need. You'll be surprised how affordable metal roofing is. Plus, now, with your Erie Metal Roofing System purchase, you'll receive a 60-inch HD TV at no additional charge. Stay up to date on the latest weather or your favorite shows. Just be sure you call during this program for this special offer. That's a 60-inch HD TV with your purchase of the Erie Metal Roofing System. Call 1-800-966-4500. That's 1-800-966-4500.
These are the faces that smile so wide at the friends and staff who are by their side, where life is lived with a feeling of pride on every bump of life's great ride that comes from the care that sweetens the air that lives in the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living built with the help of angels.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Stoughton Health's Breast Cancer Risk Assessment can help you understand your personal breast cancer risk and strategies to reduce your risk. The screening is a free service Stoughton Health offers to help women take charge of their health.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, if you're ready for fall, just wait another 3 days for our autumnal equinox to take hold, and fall will finally be here, folks. I know I'm ready for it, even though it's a bit on the bittersweet side, because I have been enjoying this gorgeous weather we've had. Mild temperatures and pretty blue skies, which is just all nice signs of summer. Even though the leaves are starting to change for some trees, well, we're going to see even more of that fall foliage over the coming weeks. Now, let's take a look at our surface map. This is what we're seeing as of right now. Thanks to that high pressure system, we've looked at nice, gorgeous conditions for us. It's been dry, it's been warm, but that's going to be leaving the upper Midwest as we're looking for a low pressure system to start to weep its way through much of the upper Midwest, bringing in some changes for us, which is going to continue our unsettled pattern. Dew points, however, luckily we don't have a lot of juice in our atmosphere, but we are going to start to see those rise a bit more by the time we get into tonight. Take note of our temperatures for tonight. Increase in cloud cover, and we are going to be looking at some scattered thunderstorms and even some showers for many of us. As we're looking at Madison, last night we were into the upper 50s. Now we're going to be warming into the lower 60s for us. It just goes to show you a bit of that change that we're going to be looking at. But outside of that, Tuesday, we do have a marginal risk which encompasses Dane County and areas mainly to the northeast of southern Wisconsin, and for Wisconsin in itself, for us to see potentially some severe weather. Now, the threats for these weather, for any of the severe weather, is really relatively low. Not a whole lot of confidence into it, but still, if any storm were to go from strong to severe, we are looking for some small-sized hail that could be isolated into the brown areas on your screen, and for winds that could be damaging for some areas as well. So it's one thing to be mindful of as we get into the back end of our Tuesday. But outside of that, let's plan out the rest of our evening. It's going to be plenty of open sky. Cloud cover will start to increase by the time we get into around midnight. So we're looking for some cloudy skies, which will keep temperatures into the low 60s throughout the course of the night. But we're not going to be looking at much in terms of developments, in terms of showers or storms, until we see the overnight hours going into our early Tuesday morning. But that's mainly going to be north of Dane County. So near the Dells and areas to the northeast is where we're going to be watching for that cluster of showers and storms to really take hold. Then we're looking for a break, and a bit more instability in our atmosphere could bring in a couple of isolated showers or storms just near Columbia County by the time we get into our 4 p.m. commute. It could start to roll its way just near Dane County, but mainly into the northern areas, and then push out by the time we get into our Tuesday night. Looking for things to start to calm back down once again, and leading our way into some fall-like weather by the time we get into our Wednesday morning. Now, outside of that, in terms of precipitation, we're looking for our best chances of seeing much of that precipitation, mainly north of Dane County, but could see close to a quarter or even a half an inch around Madison. Now, our 3 things we're going to need to know: we're going to see plenty of sunshine throughout the course of our afternoons and our mornings, but still could see some unsettled weather for us for some areas. Cool weather is going to take hold as well, but it's going to take a little while to get there. By the time we get into our Wednesday overnights, into our Thursday, is when we're looking for our best chance for us to start to see some fall weather. And it looks to hold firm throughout the next few days as well. Low 60s for Thursday and Friday. Then as we head into the weekend, starting to see those mid to upper 60s, but it's sure going to feel like fall, guys.
Right on cue.
Right,
yeah,
exactly
right on cue.
That's exactly what we ordered. Gotta love that.
Mother Nature's watching the calendar, apparently.
Absolutely.
Julian, thank you.
Thank you, Julian.
Queen Elizabeth developed deep friendships during her reign, including that with South African President Nelson Mandela.
Not only did they visit each other's countries, they had frequent phone conversations. Deborah Petta has more about the unique connection.
They were two of the most recognized people in the world. She spent 70 years on the British throne, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. He spent 27 years of her reign in a South African jail, the prisoner turned president, Nelson Mandela. Together, they had a most unlikely friendship.
I do think they shared a very deep affection.
Zelda Lafranji served as personal assistant to Mandela for nearly 2 decades.
And it's all the more surprising considering the Queen in many ways represented a colonial past, and yet they seem to adore each other.
The fact that he was born into African royalty, the Queen's status, her royalty, and that aristocratic background that they both shared, he could resonate with that. And he admired how she, as a woman, carried the responsibility.
The seeds of that admiration were planted long before Mandela was released from jail, where he was serving a life sentence for daring to plot the downfall of his country's racist government.
To those waiting with...
Former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher refused to impose sanctions against apartheid South Africa, but in a rare breach of protocol, the Queen made it known she disagreed, privately insisting it's believed that they be implemented.
It was definitely a big thing to him, very important to him, that the Queen stood up at a very difficult time in South Africa's history, that she made her principles known.
But over the years, that respect blossomed into something far deeper. When Mandela visited the UK after he became South Africa's first democratically elected president, it was a political triumph.
I raise my glass to your health and to the prosperity and happiness of all the people of South Africa.
And a private joy. Lafranji also told us that Madiba, as he was affectionately known, even got the Queen to break into her own dance moves, one of few people outside the palace who never stood on ceremony.
The Queen called him Nelson, and he called her, on occasion, he called her Lizzie.
It's unthinkable.
Yes, I think it was the Queen's birthday. Mr. Mandela called her and he said, hello, Elizabeth, how are you? Mrs. Machel, Mr. Mandela's wife, said, Madiba, you can't call her Elizabeth. He said, why not? She calls me Nelson.
It was hard not to be bowled over by the charismatic African statesman who had dedicated his life to fighting for equal rights, but always with a twinkle in his eye and a spring in his step.
It seemed that the Queen succumbed to it a little bit. You know, Madiba wasn't above a little flirtation every now and again.
No, absolutely. There was one incident where we arrived in Buckingham Palace. He gave that infectious smile of his and he said, Elizabeth, you've lost weight. And the Queen, I mean, she just couldn't compose herself. She burst out laughing.
Just two old friends complaining about the perils of aging. To the world, they were a much-loved monarch and a revolutionary hero. To each other, just Nelson and Lizzie. Deborah Patter, CBS News, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Nelson and Lizzie.
Yeah,
what a nice story.
Very touching. Well, coming up next year on Live at 4, can omega-3 supplements help treat long COVID? We'll give you the details.
And then coming up next hour at 5, the Madison Common Council will consider banning tear gas tomorrow night. Our Naomi Coles tells us what the reasoning is coming up tonight at 5.
If your roof is 10 years old or older and the shingles are deteriorating and leaking, it's not your fault, it's the asphalt. Immediate relief is available with one call to Erie Metal Roofing. Get a lifetime of protection against wind, rain, hail, and heat with the most energy-efficient roofing system we've ever offered. And it may qualify you for a discount on your homeowner's insurance. Beautiful, insulated, stone-coated metal roofing backed with a lifetime warranty. See the before and after difference. Be sure you ask about our one-day installation. Get the last roof you'll ever need. And time's running out to call and receive a 60-inch HD TV with your purchase of an Erie Metal Roofing system. Visit online at eriemetalroofs.com. And remember, it's your last chance to call during this program for the 60-inch HD TV with your metal roofing system purchase from Erie. Call 1-800-966-4500. That's 1-800-966-4500.
Look, we knew the other side would make up lies about me to scare you. Now they're claiming I want to defund the police and abolish ICE. That's a lie. I'll make sure our police have the resources and training they need to keep our community safe. And that our communities have the resources to stop crime before it happens. I'll bring back manufacturing. And I'll pass a middle-class tax cut. And if that's too scary for Washington, then so be it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Eyes require a certain kind of care. As a family-owned optical company for over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision knows firsthand just how important your eyes are. That's why our doctors and staff are highly skilled and passionate in their roles. It's why our centers offer a large selection of eyewear suitable for all lifestyles, and it's why our lens lab is state-of-the-art, conveniently located right here in Wisconsin. Ask about our designer kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Coats for Kids needs kid-sized winter coats.
Thousands of them, to make sure every child in our area stays warm this winter.
Please help us reach our goal. Donate gently used kid-sized winter coats at any Clinky Cleaners.
They'll be cleaned and sent to the Community Action Coalition for distribution.
Don't have a kid's coat to give? Go to Channel 3000 and use the Amazon wish list to donate.
Track our progress on News 3 Now and Magic 98. Then donate to Coats for Kids.
This is a live shot of Windsor Castle. What time is it there now?
6 hours ahead. So what time? So 10 o'clock.
10:40. It's 56 degrees.
What a day.
United Kingdom awaits a new day tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, it's estimated that 1 in 5 adults who have COVID-19 suffer from long COVID months, even years after being infected.
Now, researchers in New Jersey are testing a new treatment that could help those suffering with the often debilitating symptoms.
Elise Preston has more.
We'll have to do that.
Nurse Debbie Turner has spent 3 decades caring for patients, but when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the frontline worker was the patient.
There are a couple of days that I don't remember at all.
Now, more than 2 years after her infection, she's still battling symptoms of long COVID.
I still have problems with my memory, like brain fog. I still get short of breath.
There's still so much unknown about this virus.
As scientists work to better understand long COVID, treatment usually focuses on relieving symptoms. Now, a new study at Hackensack University Medical Center is testing whether omega-3 supplements can help.
Because we know COVID is an inflammatory process, could fish oil supplements minimize the inflammation, which in turn is possibly causing these long-term symptoms?
Dr. Manisha Parulikar is leading the study. The omega-3 supplement is a specific formulation that's different from products purchased over the counter. Nurse Turner is one of 30 participants in the study's first round.
I don't know if I really felt a difference, but I felt hopeful that no matter what happens, if I'm on the placebo or I'm taking this, that all of this is aimed at being able to find something that may work.
Proud to be a part of research that could help long COVID patients get their lives back. Elise Preston, CBS News, Hackensack, New Jersey.
Previous studies in Europe and Israel reported some positive results on omegas.
Omega-3s.
Omega-3s.
Yeah.
Zipped right by. Still to come at 4, we'll head to the movies with our film critic, Will Loper.
There is a new #1 at the box office. He'll have suggestions on what to watch and what to skip when Live at 4 continues.
Well, it's time for
for another Madison Money Minute with Mr. Matt Coupland of Midwest Financial Group. We're just a stone's throw away from your office, right? Where are we today?
Yeah, we're right down the road at Seminole Highway at the Dolly Park Shelter, right here in Fitchburg.
Gorgeous, gorgeous day. Now, this got me thinking. So my husband and I, Seth, we just had our third baby, and it reminded me that, oh my gosh, there's a lot of things young families should really have in place when they're thinking about their finances and planning for the future. So a lot of people come to you maybe when they're about to retire.
Yeah.
They should come much earlier.
Financial planning takes different roles in different parts of your life, and so for a young family, I mean, there's a ton of things to protect, you know, one another, protect the spouse, protect the kids, ways to save for their future, ways to teach them financial literacy so that someday they can make good financial decisions. So yeah, it's not just about retirement. There's a lot of phases of life that need planning.
I love that point about teaching them, because it's never too early to start doing that, and if they see you do that early, they're most likely going to take on that habit. I love that. You and your wife put your roots down not far from here, and you're a dad of 3 girls. I mean, just how important is that, and what does it mean to you when you think back, knowing with what you went through with your mom, how important that was for you?
Yeah, our first home is about a mile away from here. We walked this spot with our little ones and strollers, and you know, when I lost my mom, which I've shared before, it was really eye-opening, and I wanted to make sure, and I have made sure through my planning, that if anything were ever to happen to me, my wife would be okay, my kids would be okay.
It's peace of mind. Make the call to Midwest Financial Group and Matt Coupland and his team for peace of mind. You'll be glad you did it. I'm Emmy Fink.
I'm Matt Coupland.
And you are buzzed into
Madison.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Well, the traffic is still relatively fine. However, we are seeing just eastbound. We are looking at some slow spots just off of Raymond Road and Mineral Points. That's really one we're looking at some of the slower spots on the Beltline. But outside of it, things are still pretty nice as we're getting into our rest of our 4 p.m. commutes, about to transition into the 5 p.m. commutes. Taking a look at the interstate, north and southbound, still on to the green. That's going to do it for our traffic update. Over to you guys.
Thank you. Well, what's the secret to a lasting marriage? Just ask the 300 couples who celebrated 50 years of marriage over the weekend at a church in Chicago, renewing their vows to each other during a highly emotional service. These couples from all over the Chicago area were joined by their families during this very special celebration.
So what's the secret?
I don't know.
We didn't answer the question.
Well, ask them.
Yeah. Oh, that's very nice.
Well, there are a variety of new films now showing at a theater near you.
Are they any good? Let's find out from our film critic, Will Loper.
Hey, Merck and Susan. The Woman King is king at the box office, making $19 million over the weekend. And with strong performances and a compelling story, it's well worth a trip to the theaters to see it.
An evil is coming that threatens our kingdom, our freedom. But we have a weapon.
Viola Davis stars as Naniska, the general of an all-woman army in the Dahomey tribe in 1812.
To be a warrior, you must kill your tears.
The majority of the film follows the training of a 19-year-old named Naui, hoping to prove herself.
Train hard, fight harder.
Naniska wants her tribe to stop participating in the slave trade, but her tribe's king is reluctant, especially when a more powerful tribe threatens to go to war with them.
You're asking me to take them to war.
things are worth fighting for.
Viola Davis is spectacular as always, as both a powerful fighter and emotionally carrying the movie. But Lashana Lynch, Sheila Atim, and the rest of the cast are equally fantastic, so that the audience is invested in each and every character.
Ready for war! Where you from?
The story is rousing, the characters are well drawn, and the battle scenes can be intense for a PG-13 movie. But The Woman King is a movie that is most definitely worth seeing. Also in theaters and available at home to rent for $20 is the film Confess Fletch.
Earl Maurice Fletcher? They caught me in the middle of a yawn. Can you imagine that?
John Hamm stars as freelance journalist Fletch, previously portrayed by Chevy Chase in the 1985 movie, along with its sequel.
Isn't there a children's book about an elephant named Babar?
I don't know. I don't have any.
No children?
No elephant books.
In this film, Fletch is accused of murder and has to clear his name while also locating stolen art.
I looked into your criminal record.
And?
You're a bit of a shady character, Mr. Fletcher.
But I am adorable.
Now, John Hamm is mostly known for his dramatic work in the series Mad Men, but I'd be so bold as to say his comedic chops are just as good as, if not better, than his dramatic abilities.
Did you murder that girl? Okay.
No, I didn't. Did you?
What is this? Woodburn and Bernstein?
And that can be seen in this movie. While the editing can sometimes make the pacing feel off, Hamm is always a delight, and it's a light breeze of a murder mystery.
Are you Fletcher? Yes, I am. Oh! I mean, no, I'm not. I always get that wrong.
And something you won't find on streaming services, Avatar has been yanked from Disney Plus in anticipation of its re-release in theaters this upcoming weekend. If you missed Avatar in 3D in 2009, make a point of seeing it in theaters now. Most movies either don't know how to utilize 3D or use it badly. But Avatar is not one of those movies. It is truly a visual spectacle. Of course, this is all leading up to James Cameron's Avatar 2 release later this year in December. So if you need a refresher on Pandora and its very tall blue people, the Na'vi, this is your chance. For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
It is spectacular.
It certainly is.
All right, thanks, Will. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
With Pick and Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. Pick and Save Fresh Perks. All you do is win big, big savings. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
First, we found out that radical Tim Michael supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct. Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control and ban abortion, even to save the life of the mother. And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers. Vote no on radical Tim Michaels.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get back to your health and fitness goals by joining Anytime Fitness for just $1 now through October 7th. Let us help you turn no I can't into yes I can. Now through October 7th, join Anytime Fitness for just $1. Hurry in today.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back. Invest in our own workers and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle-class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you'd get in our stores. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
A local hospital tries something new to help staff members struggling with trauma.
Tomorrow, Josh Breider is in the 608 to see how nature is helping to heal the healers.
And we are counting down to fall and when temperatures will feel like it. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
Many people dread going there.
But this employee makes visits to the DMV as easy as
1, 2, and 3.
Mark Kane meets a photographer whose approach is picture perfect.
Great, very well done.
Tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Plus it.
And we are going to be watching for some potential overnight storms that could impact some areas, especially north of Dane County. Meteorologist Gary Canolti will be breaking this down coming up at 5. Over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Julian. Tomorrow here on Live Before UW Health, Dr. Jeff Potoff has the latest COVID booster shot news.
And with colder mornings approaching, Consumer Reports looks at hearty and healthy hot cereal cups. We'll have their recommendations coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
Do you feel safe? Mandela Barnes would eliminate cash bail, setting accused criminals free into the community before trial. Even with shootings, robberies, carjackings, violent attacks on our police. More than 300 murders last year alone. Yet Barnes has even supported defunding the police. Mandela Barnes, he stands with them, not us. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Spectrum presents Stream Home Makeover with JoJo.
We transform the Joneses' home, upgrading their entertainment experience with the best TV and internet services from Spectrum. Let's go. With Spectrum TV, you get your favorite channels and streaming apps, plus tons of on-demand.
Switch to Spectrum TV and Internet for only $49.99 a month each. Now with even faster speeds of 300 megabits per second. Call 1-844-480-4713.
Ready for more? Take a look. With the free Spectrum TV app, you can stream live sports, news, and more on all your devices, inside, outside, and on the go.
Wow, that's awesome!
There's more. We powered up the game room with Spectrum Internet, which gives you the fast, reliable speeds you need to power all your devices. And it comes with free security suite, so you can feel completely safe and secure.
Switch to Spectrum TV and Internet for only $49.99 a month each. Now with speeds of 300 megabits per second. Call 1-844-480-4713.
Call now.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
In today's Final Touch, it's mankind versus machine.
And this time, mankind wins in more ways than one. Nearly 100 teams of 25 people each competed to pull an 82-ton airplane, either a FedEx Airbus A320 or a United Boeing 757. They had to pull it 12 feet. Back after a 2-year hiatus, the Dulles plane pull has been going on since 1992 and raises funds for the Special Olympics. The idea originated by a now retired deputy chief from the Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority Police Department. Since its inception, the event has raised more than $3 million and is now replicated in other cities. The Special Olympics is the world's largest sports organization for children and adults with intellectual or physical disabilities.
That looks like fun.
82 tons.
That's great.
It's all momentum. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.